Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am going to be showing you guys some beginner money-making methods. So these money-making methods included in this guide will have very little requirements, and newer players will be able to do them and make some pretty good GP per hour. So if you guys are a newer player and looking for new ways of making money, this is probably the video for you. I hope you guys enjoy. Starting off with the first method, we have creating sacred oil. There is only one requirement for this method, which is the Shades of Morton quest. There are a few prerequisite requirements as well, but you definitely can complete all of these quests within the first few hours of playing the game. Now, recommended is also at least one Barrows Brother kill. This might take you a bit longer to complete if you are a brand new player. Otherwise, you might want to try and complete the In Aid of the Mire quest. This is just so you will have access to a bank nearby. Items that you will need is a Flame Tower Hammer, Olive Oil, and a Beast of Burden. Do note that you can get all of these items in Morton, and also the Shades of Morton quest will be giving you a quick tutorial as to how this method works. So to start this method, you will want to begin at the PVM hub. I recommend having a melee gear setup or a mage gear setup. You can buy the Flame Tower Hammer and the Olive Oil in Morton, so you can go ahead and get that a bit later on. And if you do have a Barrows Brothers kill, you will teleport there pretty quickly just by using the PVM hub teleport. So sacred oil, it is done in the Shades of Morton. You would have to do this for the quest, so you should know how to do it already, but I will go over that. The first thing that you should do when you get here though is just definitely hop worlds, because as you can see, not many people actually do this mini game. But if you do go to world 88, it is the Shades of Morton world, so you should be able to find some people doing it there. If not, it can't really be done solo, so you will have to wait for someone. But as you can see, it basically always is being done. So this minigame is pretty easy. You're going to want to go over to the general shop first. You'll want to trade in the builder's store. So for this, you're basically going to want to repair the temple with some materials before you can actually transmute your olive oil into sacred oil. So to do this, you're going to want to buy some swamp paste. I believe mine's already pretty high, but normally you'll buy about 50 swamp paste. And then you'll want to buy 1 timber beam for each 5 swamp paste. And since I have 10, I'll buy 2 of those. And then you'll also want to buy 2 limestone bricks. So if I do this, I'll also want to just trade in the general store, buy the olive oil dose 3s, then we can head up to the temple to start gaining the sanctity, which you then use to turn the olive oil into sacred oil. So first off, just reinforce the temple. As you can see, the resource part, you will be using these resources in your inventory and the resources will increase. You will need to have at least some level of resource so you can actually do this, so make sure that you do buy some of those resources at the start of the minigame. Another way to get some pretty quick sanctity is by killing the shades. So if you do have a high level combat level, or even a mid-level combat level, since they are only level 58, you will be able to get a little bit more sanctity per hour. Also, if there are other people killing them, that sometimes does happen. Otherwise, you'll just have to repair the temple. So if you do repair the temple, you will gain a little bit of crafting XP, and it is really AFK. You can just sit there, repair the temple, and you'll be slowly gaining the sanctity. Once you reach about 100 sanctity, you'll want to then sanctify by clicking on the flame on the flaming altar, and you'll turn this olive oil into sacred oil. So as you can see, the olive oil, those 3s, they're priced at about 600 GP if you do turn it into the sacred oil. And so right now, the sacred oil dose 3s are priced at around 12k each. So you will be able to make a ton of money off of this. The olive oil dose 3s are only around 700 GP. Meaning that you should be able to make anywhere around 10 mil per hour if you can make, around 1,000 of these every hour, which definitely is possible depending on how fast you are able to kill these shades in the Beast of Burdens. But even if you do have a very low combat level, you still can do this method fully skilling and make some pretty easy GP per hour as a beginner player. And so moving on to the next beginner money making method, we have fighting the giant mimic on beginner mode. So there isn't any requirements for this method, and recommended is 30 plus combat. As you guys can see in the bottom right, that is my gear setup, so I am using full Bandos and Saradomin and Godsword. So it is some fairly decent armor, but definitely not too high level at all. And if you are a lower combat level, you still could kill this boss and make some decent money. So the giant mimic on beginner, you can get to this boss by using a mimic token, which can be purchased on the Grand Exchange. Basically, you will want to teleport to the boss and select the beginner mode. The boss only has two different mechanics in beginner mode. One, it will charge at you at times. You will see some green arrows flashing on the floor. For this mechanic, you just need to get out of the way. Its second mechanic is a coin launch, and basically it will shoot coins around at you. You just want to move before the coin hits, otherwise it will deal quite a bit of damage. So those are the only two mechanics you really need to watch out for. If you do have a decent combat level and some decent gear, you should be able to kill this boss fairly quickly and collect its reward. Now you will be getting what's called a small loot chest from this boss. The small loot chest does have some pretty low level rewards, but it also does have two uncommon drops, which are quite expensive. So it drops the Scrimshaw of Aggression and the Scrimshaw of Sacrifice. The Scrimshaw of Aggression is priced at nearly 1.2 mil, and the Scrimshaw of Sacrifice is about 1.4 mil. So obviously you are going to be making a ton of money off of this boss, around 6 mil per hour for a beginner player, just from these two drops. And so the third and final money making method in this guide is smelting rune bars. Required is only 57 smithing. Now, highly recommended is the Family Crest quest. That way you will get the smelting gauntlets. It will make this method much more AFK. And the Family Crest quest is a member's quest, so you will need to be a member to do that. Note, the method can be done in free-to-play. The only downside of doing it in free-to-play is you won't have some of the benefits, like the smelting gauntlets, like the superheat form curse, the smelting cape, as well as the modified blacksmith helmet. And this method will be able to make you around 2 mil per hour, which isn't a ton, but it is AFK. So that is what makes this method pretty good for beginner players. There isn't a ton of requirements, and it is also AFK. So this next method is going to be smelting rune bars. This is also a free-to-play method. However, it can be enhanced if you are a member. But on free-to-play, you'll make right around 2 mil profit per hour, whereas member, it'll be a bit more AFK, and you should make around 3 mil per hour. So, for example, the member items that I do have, they are the smelting gauntlets, as well as the modified blacksmith's helmet. So if you do have these and you are a member, you can use them. Otherwise, don't worry about any of the equipment. All you're going to need is the runite ore and the luminite. So you will want to deposit it into your metal bank at the furnace. Now, when you do smelt these rune bars, you will get an extra 10% chance to smelt an additional one, and that is at level 57 smithing. So that is why that is a requirement. You'll get a 10% chance to make an extra rune bar, which is going to really increase your profit. As you can see, since I do have these smelting gauntlets, I will be able to make 60 of them at a time, and they will go straight to the bank. However, if I was to remove the smelting gauntlets, so if I was just on a free-to-play account, you can see that you can only do 27, and they go straight to your inventory. So it is a little bit less AFK if you are a free-to-play player, but it still is a pretty profitable method. Also, if you are a member, you'll be able to make 3 mil per hour because you will actually be able to increase the amount of rune bars you make by using the superheat form curse. This will basically make it so you can smelt these a lot faster, meaning you'll be able to make 3,000 of them instead of 2,000 of them per hour. So if you do have that on a member world, make sure you are using it. But otherwise, for a free-to-play player, it is pretty basic. You're just going to need the ores, and then you're just going to need to smelt the bars. When you have the full inventory, just deposit them all into the metal bank, and then you can just start smelting some more. So again, it is an AFK method, but just not as AFK on a free-to-play world. And so anyway, guys, those are the 3 beginner money-making methods that I have for you. I really hope you guys did enjoy the video, and hopefully one of these methods will be helpful for you in terms of making some cash on a newer account. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.